Is that better? It sounds better on my end. Okay, thank you guys for being patient with me. I apologize. Katonio, you are the bomb, son. Thank you for helping me. I appreciate you. Yeah, not sure what was going on with the mic. God bless you as well, Minister Terrence. All right, so let's start over and I'll try to edit that out. So the title of today's video is People Will Disappoint You. It's how we handle the disappointment that separates the weak from the strong. And one of the things that I stated earlier on was disappointment is inevitable. It's a part of life. We're going to be disappointed, and sometimes we're going to be the one doing the disappointing. It is what it is. We're not perfect people, and because we're not perfect, things like that happen. That's where I feel like this is about to mess up again, and that is going to irritate me. That's where grace and mercy and abides. Hold on, y'all. Okay. That's where grace and mercy abides. Most times, disappointment is something that we learn early in life. We may not know how to explain it, but it's something we can experience. Example, Mom, can we go to McDonald's? I'm sure we've all heard, we got McDonald's at home. You know, you got McDonald's money? No, ma'am. Okay, we got McDonald's at home. Dad, can I have so-and-so? Do you have money? No, sir. All right, then. We're not getting it. The disappointment of a father saying, or a parent, period. I'm not just gonna say a father, but a parent saying, "Hey, I'm gonna come and get you this weekend so we can hang out," and then standing at the door waiting, and they never show. That's disappointment. You can go back as far as 2 years old and waking up and you want a piece of candy for breakfast. No, you can't have candy for breakfast. You have to have your food for breakfast. That can lead to disappointment. And so disappointment is inevitable. I think that we have to start, and these are, make sure I say that this is the opinions and in expressions of Aisha Thomas, not of anyone else. These aren't professional thoughts or whatever. These are just my thoughts and how I started processing some things. And so I can tell you a lot of times, especially as a child, when I was disappointed, and even more so as an adult, and even in some other areas in my life. And I can tell you times I've been disappointed at myself, for not making the best decision or the right decision. So disappointment happens. Of course, y'all know I like to get a good definition of something. And as the pastors will say, I ain't gonna hold you long on this one. But y'all know every time I say I ain't gonna hold you long, it end up being long. When I went to look up disappointment, this is the noun, the feeling of sadness or displeasure caused by the non-fulfillment of one's hopes or expectations. A person, event, or thing that causes disappointment. An example is the job was a big disappointment to her. She was disappointed because there was no chance to talk privately with whomever, right? And so basically it's a feeling of sadness or displeasure, but it's brought on by the non-fulfillment of our hopes, our expectations. And so we kind of put it on the person that does it. You get, because like they told us, let's use children. The parent says, I'm coming to get you. So the parent said it, the child believes it because their hope and their expectation is the parent is coming, parent don't come, child is disappointed. Just like with the candy example, the hope and expectation of the 2-year-old was, oh, I see this piece of candy, I'm going to get it. Parents says, no, we had to have breakfast first. Disappointment. And so I had to deal with disappointment this morning, in a different light. You know how you see people a particular way and you expect certain things from them, and that becomes our own issue, truthfully, because it's not okay to put people on pedestals, to put them how can I say it, like above God, to put all your hope in someone, because that's not the way we were designed. There's a higher power. There's a higher power. There's a higher deity. For me, it is God. That's who I put my hope and my expectations into, and that's first. And then I have a husband, and so my husband is second, for someone that I put my hope and my expectations into, because if I can't put my hope and expectations in someone that I'm married to, then we may need to go to therapy or reevaluate that thing. And I can share that with you because one of the things that I said when my husband and I got married is, because I had major trust issues, is I'm not worried about my husband cheating on me or being unfaithful or anything like that, because I trust the God in him. Well, that was just a real cute way of me dressing up the fact that I had trust issues. And so if I trust God, God's not going to let me down. But if I trust this man, he's going to let me down. That's not how we're supposed to go through life. There is a scripture that I hold dear to my heart. And y'all know, I often say this is not a spiritual platform or a biblical platform, but these are the things that I use to help make sense of some things that may not make sense to me, or some things that bother me or upset me. But it's Psalm 62, 5 and 6. And it says, my soul waits only upon God, for my expectation is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved. And so for me, that scripture helped me not place so much hope into people, but to place my hope in God and let God deal with his people, if that makes sense. But also I had to be careful about it because it gave me a way out. Like, if I ain't trust you, or if I didn't feel comfortable, then I could walk away. But sometimes God doesn't always want us to walk away from the uncomfortable. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes we have to have a relationship with the uncomfortable. We have to have a relationship with those that we don't trust. We have to interact with people that we don't trust, simply because that's just how it is. Think about, I often say Jesus ate with the tax collectors, the thieves, the robbers. He didn't look down on anybody. And so in order for us to try to be effective human beings, the first thing is we can't look down on anybody. And so when you're disappointed, what do you do with that disappointment? For a lot of us, when it happens as a kid, believe it or not, we carry it over into adulthood. And so it begins to be this just pile of disappointment. So every time we're disappointed, it goes back to that original time we were disappointed as a child, because 9 times out of 10, we haven't dealt with the original disappointment. And we haven't accepted the fact that disappointment is a part of life. It happens. And the other thing is, sometimes, and I know I struggle with this, we expect and want more for others than they want for themselves. And we can't get caught up in that that web, if that makes sense, because that is a web of it's not fruitful, if that makes sense. But because you can't want or will or hope for something more for somebody than they want, will, or hope for themselves. We can pray, we can put it in God's hands, but then we have to leave it there. There's no amount of physical work that we can do to change anyone, to change the trajectory of anyone, other than just being ourselves and stepping back and allowing them to be themselves and allowing God to do whatever He's going to do. And so, knowing where to put your hope, knowing where to put your expectation helps. Knowing that disappointment is a part of life, it happens, helps. Knowing that you disappointed someone, like I know I've disappointed someone. Let's go back to when I had my daughter, my first child, senior high school. A lot of people were disappointed. I didn't even tell my daddy I was pregnant until the child was here. And I left him a message on the phone. I said, Daddy, this is Iseashia. Just calling to let you know I had a beautiful baby girl, 6 pounds. Call me back. Because I wasn't brave enough. And he saw me on Christmas Day. Went by his house, got my gift, gave him his gift, had a coat on, so he didn't see my belly. And then I didn't get super big, I guess, until towards the end. But I knew that that was going to disappoint him. And boy, did he let me have it. When we did talk, he expressed his feelings. He expressed his disappointment. And guess what? I was disappointed in some of the things that he said to me, though some of it did ring to be true, unfortunately. But again, disappointment happens. So the key is, one, not giving it a great deal of power, not allowing it to hold us down and to keep us stuck in a certain place, and dealing with it. Like, if you don't deal with disappointment, it just stacks. And then from there, it could be the slightest thing. Like, someone could have told you, I'm going to bring you by some Jason's Deli. Hey, Crystal. And they say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to. And you could have the biggest heartbreak. But truthfully, it's not the fact that they didn't bring the Jason's Deli. It's that disappointment, along with all the other disappointments that we hadn't dealt with. And so, why did I bring this up today? Like, why today? As I shared with you, I experienced some disappointment. There was someone that I highly respected, and an elder, I would say, that I highly respected, and I saw them do something that was contrary to who they say they are, which we all do. I do stuff contrary to who people probably think I am. People probably think I don't cuss. I cuss. I didn't cuss before. Well, I did cuss when I was younger, and then I went to a period where I didn't. But I don't know, something happened in the last 3 years, and a couple of them slip out, that may be disappointing to somebody. You get what I'm saying? I drink. Somebody may think, oh my God, she drinks. That may disappoint somebody. I smoke hemp. That may be disappointing to somebody. Do you get what I'm saying? And so that's why we have to be careful about putting people on a pedestal, because sometimes the pedestal that we set people on isn't the pedestal that they want to be on, and we set ourselves up for disappointment. Because again, the definition tells us that Did I move it? I did. I'm gonna go back to it though. The definition tells us that it's the feeling of sadness or displeasure caused by the non-fulfillment of one's hopes or expectation. So that means that's an inside thing. Even though it may be an outside factor, it's our hope, it's our expectation that allowed it to be a disappointment. And so it's easy to say to someone, I'm disappointed in you, because that's your feeling. But that doesn't necessarily make that person a disappointment or disappointing. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's all about what you feel and what you hold. And so God had to check me on that thing. And then, of course, it took me back to this staple verse that I hold on to. And it's my soul. It's Psalm 62, 5 and 6. My soul waits thou only upon God. My soul waits only for God. My expectations are from him. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved. What is that saying? Anything that I put my efforts towards, anything that I put my beliefs in, anything that I put my expectation in, first starts with God. Because only he is my rock. Only he is my salvation. Only he is my defense. And because of that, I won't be moved. And so that's what separates the weak from the strong when it comes to being disappointed. Because we get disappointed in people, and then what's the first thing we do? Cut them off. Nope. I don't want this type of energy around me. Nope. I don't want to deal with you. Nope. The very first thing we do. Why? Because that's how we protect ourselves. But have we ever stopped to think, is that what God wants us to do? Does God want us to cut that person off? Does God, do we ever, or do we just go based off of what we feel, what we believe is right? And so people, they will disappoint you. But how we handle the disappointment is what separates the weak from the strong. Do you pout about being disappointed? Or do you take that disappointment, handle it, move forward? Do you give the Bible gives us a way to deal with our brothers and sisters if we have an ought with them? Do you go and speak to the person that disappointed you? Or do you just keep it inside and internalize it? Do you just stop talking to the person that disappointed you and cut them out of your life for good? Or do you talk to them and from there decide to move forward? Hey, Miss Sheila, thank you for coming in. To God be the glory. You stay safe and be blessed as well. Yes, ma'am. And happy belated birthday again. And you look really beautiful on that picture. I just saw Tasi say Ma, and they all look so young, but you look so young on that picture as well. That's why I was like, man, what is in y'all genes? But she could go for your child too. But yeah, you look really beautiful. Thank you so much for coming in, Crystal, Miss Sheila, Catonio. And thank you to everybody that's watching on YouTube and Facebook. Though y'all aren't talking to me. So I don't know if this is too deep or just one of those kind of lists and conversations, but it's definitely not a whipping or a fuss or a condemnation or a conviction. No, because I'm not perfect. None of us are. It's impossible for us to be perfect. But our goal, I don't know what scripture it was, but none of us are worthy, but we are called to walk worthy. And what does that look like? It looks like confidence. It looks like knowing who we are. Miss Sheila said, just keep God first. You are so beautiful, Miss Sheila. Just keep God first, and He will guide you in your decisions. Pray on it, baby. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why we spoke about the scripture, Psalm 62, 5 and 6. My soul waits thou only upon God, for He is my rock and my salvation. And I shall not be moved. Like, and that's in anything. And that's the beauty of God. Like, I can love Him like that. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Sheila. Thank you. Hey, Eve. Thank you for coming in. Miss Sheila, thank you so much. Thank you. That's the beauty of not having to be, perfect. God just wants us to be us. You know what I'm saying? Like, He created each one of us uniquely, individually. That's why we have our own fingerprints, and we're going to leave our own imprints on this world, on this world. But at the same time, we got to make sure that there is some fruit of God, if that makes sense. I'm a firm believer in a healthy balance. You be blessed as well, Miss Sheila, and thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you. And again, happy belated birthday, beautiful. Hey, Lady J, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in as well, Eve. And extending grace. Like, yeah, I have to extend grace because one, God extends it to me daily. Two, I can't tell y'all enough that I'm not perfect. I'm so human, and I feel so much. Some days that it's heavy. It weighs me down. I was talking to my psychologist, and my psychologist told me, and I thought that this was a demonic term, if I may just be totally honest with you. I thought it was something that, because this is how we were raised, that certain things you don't believe in. But I'm starting to find out that there are some things that are backed by science that we as people who have been raised in the church have been kind of steered wrong on. Forgive me if this lotion sounds really loud and icky, but she told me that I'm an imp. I'm an empath. I guess I'm saying it right. Look at the thing to make sure I'm saying it right. And I've heard people tell me that before, but I was like, I'm Iseashia. Y'all know I don't like titles or labels per se. But, and this isn't the first time somebody said that to me, but I was like raised to believe that all that type of stuff is demonic. But then I thank God for my aunt, because she started we started talking about some things that we were taught growing up and how they don't align with the Bible, but it was almost like it was taught to kind of keep us from going too far. So I'm gonna just throw this extra piece in here. And so it made God this person that um growing up I was afraid of. Like I didn't it wasn't until in my adulthood, like probably in my 30s, when I understood that, I am a friend of God. I am a friend of God. I am a friend of God. He calls me friend. I'm like, God ain't call me friend. I'm supposed to reverence God, holy, holy. We are not friends. I'm not on a level with God like that. But it took me getting my own relationship to realize that God does call me friend. God um, does want to talk to me. He wants to hear from me. He doesn't expect me to be um, this person that, and I can't remember who said it, but that's so heavenly bound that I'm no earthly good, because the thing is, we get one life. And I don't remember who said this, but I think it was my aunt was talking. She blesses me. But I don't want to live to die. You get what I'm like? Some people live to die. That's it. Like there's no in between. There's no they just live to die. But what's in the middle? What's that too? What are we doing with that too? How are we going about life with that? And so in closing, um, I just want us to be encouraged that disappointment is a part of life. It happens. No ifs, ands, buts about it. It happens. Um, as long as we're living, we're going to experience it. But it's how you handle it that separates the weak from the strong. So what do I mean by that? Do you get disappointed, go in your room, close the door, cuddle up in the sheets and just cut everything off? That's okay for a few moments. But do you do it and stay there? Or do you accept the fact that, okay, it is what it is. This is how it happened. I don't like how it happened. I don't like how it made me feel, but I'm going to move forward. Make sure I tell that person about it, as well as make sure that I don't um, exhibit that behavior towards someone else. We don't know what people are going through. I can't say that enough. We don't know what people are going through. You never know what is behind somebody's smile. You don't know the pain that's behind someone's smile. You don't know the hurt, the struggle that's behind someone's smile. You don't know the feeling of being overwhelmed that's behind someone's smile. I often say I choose to smile because that's the one thing I can control. And I came to YouTube with that. And guess what God did to me this year? He showed me that there was a time that I couldn't smile. There are several pictures of me at my mom's funeral. And I guess I'm, thinking about this because it was this day 3 years ago that I went to view her body to make sure everything was okay. And we had her wake. And then the next day she was funeralized. But I smiled. Like when I walked in that church, it was a church where they had her laid. When I walked in that church and I saw my mama, and my mama looked, all I remember her saying in January was, I want people to say she looked good. Y'all did that. That was her thing. That's what she wanted. And I kid you not, when I walked in there, my mama looked like she was sleeping. She looked so beautiful. And her skin was so full because she had lost a lot of weight. And she just looked like she was sleeping. And I had my brother with me. He was 29 at the time, and trying to help him process, because keep in mind, nonverbal autism, cerebral palsy, intellectual disability, I don't know how he's processing this. I just know it's my job to help him get through this, right? And so we walk in and I just smile, like, and I know that sounds crazy, but I was like, man, she's beautiful. Like, my cousin bought her clothes. I went with him to find them. It literally took less than 30 minutes. My husband found a hat for her head because she made sure that we understood she wanted a hat and that she didn't want her head she didn't want a wig. And my cousin is Muslim, and she said, and don't let April wrap up my head either. And so this was stuff she had told us in January. So here we are in December having to, address this. And I remember taking my brother's hand and trying to get him to touch mom. Like, I took his hand because she was cold and I wanted him to feel that she was cold. But he snatched his hand back, like, you're not going to make me wake her up, because waking her up gets us cussed out. It gets him too. So it's understood, don't wake her up. And so that blessed my heart, because it was like, wait, he thinks she's sleeping, maybe. And so he literally on his own went to the back, sat down in a chair, and I still looked there with this big smile on my face, because I'm like, my mama looks like my mama. Because for the last couple of months, she was just not looking like my mother. And so I remember sitting on the back row with him, and I said, his name is Ivy. And I said, Ivy, mom's gonna be sleeping forever now. And he shook his head, yeah, like he understood me. I don't know. I said, she's gonna be sleeping forever now. And I'm gonna take care of you. And I had just moved him in with me that day as well. Like, everything was strategically done. I wanted him to see her, move him in, see her, and from that point, he would never go back to her home or their home. And so he said, okay. I said, are you ready to go? And he told me no. I said, okay. So we just sit there. And my aunts came in from out of town, and they made it just in time for that viewing, because it was just really a private viewing. One, to make sure she was good, but two, for my brother. I wanted to make sure that my brother had the opportunity to process it however he needed to process it. And my baby brother didn't come. He made it clear he didn't want to, and that was fine. And so I sat back there with my brother. Now, this is the person who's supposed to have a low IQ. I asked him, did he want to go see mom one more time? He walked up and we saw her one more time. And then he walked towards the door, looking at me like, I'm ready when you are, or whatever. And the whole time I'm still smiling, because I'm like, she looks so beautiful. She had already told my cousin, you know what you got to do. And he was like, yeah, he was hurting, but he was like, yeah. And he made sure that she was gorgeous. And so when we got to the service the next day, we had a closing of the casket ceremony just for the children, but my stepfather came up. And again, it was for my brother. It had nothing to do, like, people don't even understand that everything that I did, and if I get emotional, it's not because my mom is gone, but everything that I did, everything that I do is for my brother, to make sure that he processes it well, to make sure that he understands to the best of his ability, and to make sure that I honor my mom by helping him with it. And so I took his hand, and knowing the day before that he snatched his hand back, but I took his hand and I put it at the top of the casket, and I put my hand over his hand, and my baby brother put his hand up there. and my stepfather, and we closed the casket together, and he allowed me to help him do that. And I looked at him, and he smiled. Like, my cousin actually has a picture of it, and he's smiling. And so when I say my mama spent majority of his life worrying about what would happen with him when she's gone, he's doing better than any of us. He had one major breakdown about it, and we got a behavioral therapist in immediately to help us. We took him back to the house to see if it was something he forgot at the house. He wouldn't even walk in the house. My stepfather was like, "Come on, bud, let's watch TV." He was like, "Mm-mm." I was like, "Well, do you want to go?" And he said, "Yeah." He shook his head, "Yeah." So he walked out the door and went back to the car. And I said, "Do you want to go to the cemetery?" He said, "Yeah." So behavior therapist followed us to the cemetery. My aunts, uncles met us there. He got out the car, smile on his face, and walked directly to my mother's grave. And so that let me know that he understood that she was gone, but that he was gonna be okay. And so he's been good. I don't even know how I got to this place with it, but especially for disappointment. But he's been good. When she passed, there were a lot of people that told me, "I'm gonna help you with Ivy. I'm gonna help you with Ivy. I got you. Whatever you need with Ivy, I'm gonna get Ivy on the weekend. I'm gonna help Ivy get out the house. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you." They had good intent, but it hasn't been that. My little brother has stepped up some, praise God. And I think he just needed his time to grieve how he needed to grieve. But he has stepped up in the last couple months, and he just comes and get him on the weekend and help out. But for the most part, he's with me. And he expects home cooked meals. And Aisha doesn't cook home cooked meals, but Aisha is so thankful for the friends and the aunties that she has that do, and send leftovers for him, because her mama was cooking him hearty meals. And yeah, I hadn't got there yet with my cooking skills. And he has no problem letting me know that I hadn't got there yet, because he'll just leave the plate there looking at it like, "I'm hungry, but I'm not eating this." So yeah, he and I are working on that. So even in that, we could talk about disappointing, because I'm sure there has been plenty of plates I've put before him. And he was disappointed. His expectations and his hope was just, yeah, I let him down. But it's a part of life. And it happens. And it's even in saying this, y'all don't even know how much it's freeing me. So I kind of understand now why God allowed me to go to my mom's passing and that day, because I was disappointed. I was disappointed in the church that she attended. I was disappointed in the church where we had her funeral. The church where we had her funeral, which was her request. My mom wrote out her entire obituary, right down to the acknowledgments, but we didn't put that in there. Hey, Positive Pusher, thank you for coming in. Hey, Nell Court. Hey, Simply Living with Raina, dropping down to say, I'm sorry. Dropping down to say you've hit my heart once again. Thank you, Super Mom. Oh, loving the shirt. Thank you. My goddaughter bought me the shirt 1 year for Mother's Day. So God be the glory, Raina. For me, I hope I'm saying your name right. For me, this means a lot, because I always say if I affect one person or save one person, then my assignment is done. Hey Neil, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in, Eve. Lady J, Positive Pusher. Lady J, yeah, like he will look at a plate and be like, mm-mm, mm-mm. And we'll sit at, but and you will take the plate from him, and he still sit at the table with his hands like this, waiting on you to bring them something else. Um, so yeah, I'm sure he's disappointed, but maybe that's why God allowed me to do this so that I can be free from this. Here we are, year 3, and like y'all know how I feel about organized religion, and a lot of that came from the church that my mom attended, which was a church that I had attended for 14, almost 15 years. The church that I grew up in, the church that is considered my family's church. Um, cool. Thank you, Raina. Cool. That's considered our family church. I still have an aunt there on the usher board, cousin that works with the children ministry, cousins that work with Sunday school ministry, and I was charged $275 to use the church's sanctuary, as well as $250 to use the Family Life Center. Now, I understood the $250 for the Family Life Center. I really did. But the $275 to use the sanctuary still doesn't sit right with me, considering that my maiden name is Hardaway, and Hardaways have been at that church long beyond my existence, and I'm 43 years old. My grandmother was 94 when she passed. Her funeral was there. My grandfather's funeral was there. He passed 21 years before my mom did, to the exact same day. Every Hardaway funeral is had at this particular church. Not to mention, it's a family church. And you were a member. No, I'm not a member of the family church. My mom was not a member of the family church any longer. She was baptized there as well. The church that she was at, I had been there for 14 years. The disappointment with them came. My mom was like over the kitchen ministry per se, and people love working in the kitchen when my mom was back there because she was real organized. But she was also my mama is that church person that goes to church, pays her tithes, and is faithful, but she say what she feel. And yeah, she don't care about cussing nobody out. She don't care about no titles. That just was never her. But people love working with her because my mom had a big heart. And her mind just somehow made things flow a particular way. So, and that's how it should be. I can understand, like I said, the Family Life Center, but $275 for a sanctuary for a woman that was baptized in the church, a woman that still visits for annual days, a woman who is the sister of one of your ushers, the aunt of, like, yeah. Hey, Twisted Tips, thank you for coming in. And so I was disappointed. I was disappointed in the church. I was disappointed in the church where I had spent 14 years, because I asked them, could they facilitate my mother's repast? And they told me they could not because it was at another location. I was like, what? It's at another location. No, it's at the Family Life Center. That's no different than me renting out a community center. I paid $255 for this. You can't come in. And so that came from the pastor. And I didn't have time to argue it, but was I disappointed? Yeah. Was I disappointed on the Sunday when my mom called for her pastor and he said that he had some errands to run and that he would get back with her Monday? And I knew that my mother wasn't going to make it that Monday. Absolutely. She said, call for the pastor. But my pastor was there. So there was a pastor there. My pastor gave her last meal. She wanted chicken and pineapple pizza. I don't know, but he did it. And And I couldn't rest in that disappointment. And I think that's probably how this conversation came about. So, because I'm like, how did I get to this? So I think God is trying to show me I even have to let that go. I got to show some grace because I hadn't let it go. I'm just gonna be real with you. I ain't let it go. It's been a year. I mean, that last year of my mother's life, I felt that the place that she was planted in faith and tithing, and they didn't show up. They didn't do the leaders, that is. However, here's where disappointment, not disappointment, but here's where your expectation in God can change things. When I contacted, just so happened one of the church members was there when this was said to me by her church. But they did say, let me back up, that they could do the standard, which was 2 pans of chicken, 2 pans of spaghetti, 2 pans of green beans, some rolls, and some drinks. So the woman who has facilitated many repasts, many after church events, many camp meetings, many even VBSs in choir rehearsals for kids coming in and bringing snacks. She can get the standard. Okay. Because we're at another facility. Okay. But we're supposed to be a church, which is one church all together, right? Okay. And so there was a huge disappointment for me. But I knew that there were people in the church that love my mama, that work for my mama, that didn't care. And so I called one person and I was immediately told, don't you call another soul. We're going to give Helen the repast that she deserves, and you ain't got to worry about a thing. And they did. Not only that, my pastor, and it was just like a wow moment for me, because they were out there serving and handing out plates, and it wasn't about anybody being above. Was I disappointed? Yes, I was disappointed. I was hurt. I even told them I was disappointed and hurt because, again, 14 years of my life. I preached my first sermon in the old building of this church in 2001. I didn't leave until the end of 2014, and it was only because, no, 2015. Yeah, 2015, and it was only because God led our family somewhere else. And so I'm not sure why, because I'm not, let me see something. Oh, okay. All right. Did they help positive? That should hopefully that helped. Um and so when I reached out, I was told to express my feelings. I was told that I probably need to go, and it was on Wi-Fi instead of being connected directly to the modem, that they couldn't help me, and that I probably needed to seek some help somewhere else, when I'm doing what the Bible says and I'm bringing my ought to you, because that's where the hurt and disappointment was, and we couldn't talk about it. And so I'm better. I'm okay. And I think it led to that today because God was showing me I was more disappointed than I was hurt, because I had been saying I was hurt, but I think I was more disappointed than I was hurt. And not just disappointed in one church, I was disappointed in both. Like, what are you doing? I understand the lights in the church don't run for free, but I also understand when you have a generation of a family and you're on the program to officiate, that that sanctuary, sanctuary, God's dwelling, we shouldn't have had to pay for $275 for it. Thankfully, one of my mother's friends paid for the or one of our friends, as well as my mom's friend, paid for the life center, and my aunt paid for the sanctuary. But it still doesn't change the disappointment that I then began to face with the church itself. And it was at that moment in my life that I realized we have this church thing all wrong. We have this relationship thing with God all wrong, because here we're doing this thing Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. But what are we doing for people? How is it changing our lives? How is it changing their lives? What differences are being made? And that's when I realized I had to take a great deal of accountability for what I was feeling, as well as my knowledge. And so I can say today, just talking through this to both churches, I forgive you. I apologize for going 3 years super disappointed in you. We're all human. We all make mistakes. There are certain things I'm sure that you guys wish you could go back and do differently. And there are things that I wish I could do differently. But we are where we are. And so my goal is to move forward and be free of this. And I feel free of this. My heart is lighter. I don't know how we got to this place in this conversation, but I guess it needed to happen. And so I'm glad it did. And now I'm about to cry. Thank you, little brother. Thank you. Let's go back here. I had to unfortunately use their facility a couple years ago for my father-in-law's funeral, and they did not charge me and gave me the option of giving a love offering. Of course I did. Of course. Firm believer in sowing seeds. Unfortunately, man will fail us sometimes. Man will fail us because we're not perfect. Now, of course, as my dear friend, the disappointment that sits in at the time of great grief is a deep and lingering thing that takes longer to complete. Perhaps that's why this is 3 years later, and I'm just now letting it go. The positive pusher says, amen. Eve, and it is an example of your disappointment. Yeah, God he always sets me up. Damien, I appreciate you more than you know. More than you know. Absolutely. God bottles up our tears. Like, yeah. God is good. Yeah, because that's not even where I was going with this. And he just took me right on over. And I'm good. I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah. I am okay. I'm ready to move forward with life. And I guess sometimes we have to have those conversations and experience those moments of and just remember that we're not perfect. We disappoint too. And so that's where I will hang my hat. For those who are on YouTube, I will drop the link if you would like to come up. But I think this has been a great Wisdom Wednesday. Please know that most topics that I bring is either something I've experienced, something I've witnessed, and I truly come here with the hopes of sharing so so no one else feels it. But sometimes God allows, well, sometimes, most times, by the time I'm off live, God has dealt with me on something as well. And Simply Living with Raina, thank you so much. I just did not know. I don't know who, because on YouTube, you can't see who's in the clouds or in the bushes. And so, thank you. You said Facebook can hit. No, I didn't know. When we were on Facebook, they kept saying they couldn't see the link. Damien, are you still here? Do you see the StreamYard link on Facebook? Today, I'm grateful for this pandemic because I feel I have completed the grief the 7-year-old had losing her grandmother to the 68, 69 pandemic. Wow. Wow. That's a beautiful feeling. That's beautiful, Neil. Yeah, Damien says no, not yet. So it can't be seen. It's not seen on. So I don't know how to. So would I have to drop it separately, copy and paste it, and drop it? You might have to drop it directly in their chat. Oh, I don't ever even have Facebook pulled up. Okay, Damien, click it to see what it does over there. Because I dropped it. I'm still learning, and it's. I was gonna say it's crazy, but no, it's only been what 7 months. 7 months that I've been a YouTube content creator, and I'm still learning. I dropped it over there to see if Damien could click it. Just excuses, y'all. We're gonna do a little testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Muhammad Safir, facts. I don't see. I just put it over there, Damien. It's over there because Muhammad is over there with you. Let's see. There will be so many children who are going to have difficulty processing their grief from this crazy pandemic right now. I'm realizing that our kids process differently than we do. I didn't realize how much until recently, but they really do process differently than we do. So the best thing that we can do is talk to them and encourage them. Okay, I see, Damien. So did you do this from hold on a second. Did you do this from YouTube? I mean from Facebook?
Yeah, I did it from Facebook.
So I
Yeah,
had to
it
click
came
it.
up. Yeah, somehow it came up. As soon as you said whatever you said, it popped up. And yeah, I got it from Facebook.
Cool. Okay. So on Facebook I have to put the link over there. Okay. I can do
Yeah.
that.
I'll just let you know I'm in the sticks, so I might break up, so I'm gonna hop back out.
No, you good. Thank you. You be careful
All
out there in
right,
the streets. What part of the states are you in?
I'm in South Georgia right now,
Okay. Where you headed?
North Alabama.
Oh, okay. So know where snow is.
Not yet, nah.
All right.
I just came out the snow.
Be Oh Lord.
All right, I will.
Be safe, my brother. I love you.
All right, love you too.
Bye. Thanks for that info, positive. Look at that. I'm growing on up. Growing on up. So, guys, that's truthfully all I had today for Wisdom Wednesday. I did, like I said, drop the link to see if anybody had anything they would like to add or subtract. I always said that this is my unprofessional opinion, because I'm not a professional. This is just life. And so I share um, my experiences with the hope that if someone goes through what I go through or what I've experienced or what I've seen, that it will, I'll leave a trail of navigation. I know I'm not the largest channel in the world. I think God knows I'm not even prepared for that right now. Um, and as a channel, I'm trying to see how to proceed, because I don't want it to ever get to a place where we're complacent and bored. Um, but I also want to make sure that I'm always using the resources, the tools that God puts before me to get out whatever message I need to get out um, during that time. And I always say that everyone is welcome to this platform. This isn't a Christian platform. This is a platform where the host happens to believe in God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost, the triune God, but I don't judge anyone for their beliefs. My goal is to always live a life that is pleasing to God, but also live a life that's real, so that people can see you don't have to be this perfect presentation um, every day of your life, and just living to die. Live to live. My mom said it best: as long as you have life, live it. Live it. Let's see here. Safe travels. Are you not joining in positive? Positive's at work. So she's good. I understand. I appreciate her being here. I appreciate all of you being here. I thank you all for your support, your continued support. I've always said that I don't care if I thank you again, Miss Sheila, for the super chat in the kind words. Katonio, thank you for letting me know that my mic was not in order when I first started. Minister Music Terrence Trower, thank you so much for just um, rocking with me. Crystal, you and Cynthia, thank you so much. It means a lot when your family support you. Eve, sister, you are such a blessing, and I'm so grateful for your continued faithfulness. Um, Raina, I just to hear you were in the bushes and have been in the bushes for a while. Um, that that makes my heart happy. Um, her stream. I thought she was off now. Sorry. Oh no, you're fine. She said she's listening, sort of. But yeah, so y'all, your girl is good. Life is good. Um, I'm not gonna complain. Could life be better? Absolutely. Um, but I thank God that I have life, and I know that in the midst of it all, He's still working. And one thing I can assure you guys is that I will continue to present. I mean, if you go back through the time I started until now, even in some of my darkest moments, you guys are still getting the same thing, which is me. The only way I can spice it up is add in a co-host, which would be my husband. I do know that in the new year, I want to do some collabs. This is a lot of things that I want to do with this channel in the new year. I will say this, drama sells, beef sells, arguments sells, fighting, it sells, it gets the numbers up. That's what people want to see. I'm not about that life. I'm about maintaining my peace. There is a quote that I was looking at today from India Ari, and it says, hold on. It says, where there's chaos, chaos isn't good for your health. And of course, I love me some India Ari. And that's true. And that applies in so many areas of our life, not just on YouTube, but even in our homes, and trying to maintain them and keep them clean. Hold on one second. And so looking at that quote this morning made me ready to come in, honey, and clean my house top to bottom. I got boxes of things that I'm supposed to be sending out to people. And I want to get that stuff sent off. It made me want to run a vacuum, do some mopping and all type of stuff. Because chaos isn't good for your health. It's not. Oftentimes when people call people nasty and say their house is this, their house is that, and don't get me wrong, I can take a picture of my house. You're going to see some toys here and there and some stuff that might don't look like it should be in place. But for the most part, it's clean. But we live here. Like there's no such thing as a room that we can't go into. It's too many people in this house for us not to have a room. Everybody got to have somewhere to go, right? But most times when you go into a person's house and it's cluttered or it's junky, it's not they're nasty. It's this is cluttered and this is junky. And until we get things out of this that's cluttered and junky, it's not going to manifest on the physical side. And so, yeah, what I did find funny about this, though, is my husband's line name is Chaos. And I was tickled because Beautiful Surprise by India Ari is the song that made me realize that I was in love with him way before I knew it. And so, yeah, that's my favorite song. Now, of course, says, yeah, I feel a little worried about InQ after last night. I don't know what happened. I apologize, but I don't know what happened. Hey, Philly girl. ASL interpreter. Your package will be going out today as well. That's my goal, to make sure. And if it's okay with you, I'm going to add probably a couple of more books that help me, like morning devotionals and things like that. to go with it. But I don't know what happened at Inky's last night, nail court. And I hadn't really been on YouTube like that, guys. One this weekend I did go camping. I have to share that with you. I held a snake. I touched an owl. I was up close to an owl. I saw a red-tailed hawk. Just had an amazing weekend, and the reception wasn't great, and that's okay, because I got a lot of rest. And so, when it really comes to the drama and things like that, I hadn't seen a lot. The live that I did yesterday was to be very informative. I'm actually going to try to go back in and edit it some to cut down the time on it, but it's simply for information in truthfully social media, for social media, period, be it YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I pray she is okay. Positive, are you able to check on her? And hopefully Positive can check on her and let us know. But yes, if there is nothing else, is there anything that you guys want to talk about? We can make it, we're at 120 now, so we can make it to 130. If there's something you guys want to talk about. Actually, you can ask me any question you want. She's a little stressed. Okay. Positive Pusher says she will check on her, but I pray that God gives her wisdom on how to relieve some of her stress. And trust me, I know all about it. Not her stress, but I know all about being stressed and overwhelmed. First, I'm going to do this one because so that Neil can see it. All right. Parsnips are evil. They should. What is a? Now I have to go look it up, Vermont. What is a parsnip? Let me find out. It's a vegetable. It's a vegetable. Why does it say sativa though? Sativa, isn't that like a hemp? A hemp. Let's see. So the parsnip is a root vegetable closely related to carrot and parsley. All belong to the family. I cannot pronounce this word. Apiaceae. It is a is this biennial plant, usually grown as an annual. It's long, tuberous root, has cream-colored skin and flesh, and left in the ground to mature, it becomes sweeter in flavor after winter frost. So why is it evil, Vermont? Vermont is swearing again. Wait, so you're saying it is a vegetable. Okay. But it sounds like a sugar. Let's see what the nutrition facts are. Who made you eat parsnips? Let's see what you got. 6 nutritional benefits. It looks like a carrot potato. It says it brings a unique taste to your dishes. rich in antioxidants, um, fiber, protein, vitamin C, 25% of the daily reference intake, vitamin K, 25%, folate, 20. It sounds like I need to go eat some of this. Great source of fiber, vitamin C, vitamin K, and folate. It has anti-cancer. Why are you mad at this? It has anti-cancer properties. Summary: parsnips are high in antioxidants, including vitamin C and, I cannot say this, polyacetyl poly ACETYLENES. So polyacetylene. This is the pharmacy tech in me that is determined to get this word. That may prevent oxidative stress in chronic conditions like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. Vermont. And they're high in fiber, which can support regularity, which makes you not mad at people. Because let me tell you, if you're an irregular person, you will have some attitudes. Like, one thing I make sure about with that little girl of mine that is nonverbal is that we stay regular. Around here, poop is a real deal discussion because she has pica too. Yeah. So, little known fact, she has pica. So guess what I took pictures of yesterday? Poop, because she pooped out something that shouldn't have been in there. And my husband, excuse the language, because usually it's my husband that gets the gloves, pull it out, take the object, put it in a bag, Ziploc bag, so we can store them up for the gastroenterologist when we go, whatever. They can take whatever they need from it. And my husband said yesterday, I said, babe, there's something different here. Need your help? And he was like, baby, just take the picture. I don't feel like sifting through shit today. And so sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying. He was like, I don't feel like sifting through shit today. I was quite tickled at him. But they are high in fiber, which can support regularity, improve your digestive health, regulate blood sugar levels, and enhance heart health. May aid in weight. I'm going to get some today. Low in calories, but contain a good amount of water and fiber, both which may benefit. And they support the immune function. High in vitamin C and antioxidants, both of which may enhance your immune function and optimize health. Delicious and easy to add to your diet. How? Parsnips have a sweet taste similar to carrots, but with a nutty, earthy undertone. They can be mashed, roasted, sauteed. Oh, I bet sauteed is so good. Boiled, baked, grilled. I bet grilled is good too. Or fried, and add a rich flavor to many dishes. Working especially well in soups, stews. I'm going to get some. They can be easily swallowed. So I can actually make parsnips can be prepared in many ways and used in soups, stews, casseroles, gratins, and purees. Bottom line is parsnips are the type of root vegetable closely related to carrots and parsley roots. They're rich in several important nutrients and oxidants that may improve immunity, enhance digestive health, and aid in weight loss. Best of all, they're easy to prepare and have a sweet, earthy taste that works well in a variety of recipes. I wonder, can you eat it without cooking it? Does anyone know that? Oh, God, don't cut your fingers off. What did you do? Hold on. Now, of course, says my mom loved them. Vermont doesn't like it. I forgot to speak to Llama. Hey, Llama. Vermont doesn't like it because it's not shaped like a Twinkie. It jumped out of my way and made me cut my What jumped out of your way? So you were cutting it and you're trying to say that it jumped out of your way. And so you're still mad at it. Get over it, Vermont. If she likes carrots, she would like these. The positive push. I have to get going. Okay. Have a good day. Don't work too hard. simple, simple, simple living with Raina. Yeah. These guys can be some characters. I love Bruce. Darn it. I think I made her try a new food. Yep, you did. I am going to try it. She might not know how he doesn't like sifting shart, so she does it on purpose. Don't cut your fingers off. Yes, just the end of my thumb on Thanksgiving. I've done that to my index finger. And the skin is actually still gone. And from that point, my husband stopped allowing me to cut things. But it's okay. I'm gonna start back. TC positive. She said her mom ate them raw. Cool. Like Jason, I need some of those. Now, me and you both, my local market does not open till tomorrow. Yes, that's why he called them evil. I've got to get back on my regular schedule. I miss you guys, like coming to your lives and talking with y'all. So we made it to, truthfully, an hour 30. Yeah. And I've enjoyed you guys as always. So thank you for tuning in with me for Wisdom Wednesday. People do disappoint. It's how you handle it that separates the weak from the strong. Pray that I said something today that will free you. I can honestly say that today I have been freed of something that has had me bound for the last 3 years. So for me, that's a win. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys around on these YouTube streets. Hold on. Sorry, I messed you up. You did not mess me up. I'm going to try them. Okay, an IG of a picture, because surely not your thumb. I do not want to see. No, I don't want to see it. Last night, trigger warning. Last night, well, I'm not showing a picture, but last night, one of my friends who experienced COVID, and this guy's healthy, y'all, worked out everything, and my husband went through it back in March, so it hit our home. But he actually came on one of my lives, and I was so proud of him because I remember when he made the post that night saying pray for him, and that he just didn't know if he was gonna make it out of the hospital or not. It was like serious, and so his wife and daughters were also positive, but they were home; they weren't in the hospital. And he shared a testimony last night that he one night literally was hallucinating so bad that he was banging his head against things and just couldn't find any peace. And he had banged and moved so much that he pushed his IV further into his skin, which caused him to bleed out. He slept through the night. He finally ended up getting some sleep. When he woke up, he contacted the nurse for her to come in. And she was like, whoa, you've pushed your IV in too far, and we have to change it. And he asked the nurse, would she take a picture of it? And there was blood everywhere. And his testimony was basically, because it was a lot of blood, how God even kept him in that moment. My thought process, because this is how Aisha think, why the hell didn't the nurse go in there in the middle of the night anyway to check on him to see that he was bleeding out like that? But that's a different story. However, just seeing that amount of blood let me know that nursing is not for me. I thought it was. I initially was going to go into nursing when I got out of high school, I started on that track, and then I changed my major to chemistry because I was already a pharmacy tech, and pharmacy techs do out of work. The pharmacist just checks to make sure that what you did was correct. And then, hold on one second. And then, so after pharmacy tech, changed my mind from that and decided I wanted to do business because by this time I'd done banking, I'd done hair. He's also just for you to see. Okay, Vermont, send it. Jeez. Send it now. And so from business, what happened in between there? In between there, I had Desi. And then finally, I settled on the degree of organizational leadership. I'm sorry, the degree is professional studies with a concentration in organizational leadership. One, because I had so many credits and I didn't want any of them to go to waste. So professional studies was the best thing for me because I know a little bit about everything. Jack of all trades, master of many. I'm not going to say master of none. Master of many. Master of more than one. And then... and so my concentration is organizational leadership, which is funny for a person with ADHD, but I'm working and I'm learning. And so, yeah, so hopefully I'll be done soon. And as I stated before, they will not see me for a master's degree. They will not see me for a doctorate. If they see me for these things, y'all hear me when I say that means God himself was like, hey, Shawty, come here, let me holler at you. Let me holler at you, sis. Come here, friend. Let me talk to you. I need you to go and get this degree because I need you to go over here because there's somebody's life over here that's dependent upon you getting this degree. So go ahead. Because if he don't talk to me like that, I'm done. Amen. Please share. Living life with Raina. I'm sorry. Simple living with Raina says, she has some advice for anyone with the seasickness. Please share. What advice do you have? Do you want me to drop the link or do you want to type it? I'll drop the link just in case you want to hit the link. But we want it. Please share. We're open over here. Oh God, Vermont sent y'all. I'm going to look. Jesus be a protector. Oh Lord, this is 3. Okay. Oh, Vermont. I'm speechless. Hey, Sugar Love. Thank you for coming in. Vermont. I'm so proud of you. I am so, y'all, Vermont has a Teespring with joggers and hoodies and crew socks. You know I will be ordering something. Man, this is awesome. This is awesome, Bruce. Is that a mask? Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. Good morning. I'm so proud of you. You're welcome. My family was exposed. My husband and now both my daughters have been sick. I gave them doTERRA on guard and Spring Valley Immune vitamin. And how has it helped? How has it helped, Raina? Aw. Oh, now Court. Yes. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. The people that exposed us really suffered a lot worse. It didn't stop the sickness completely, but the symptoms were milder. Aisha, I ordered the black hoodie and I'm wearing it in your honor. Ah, and doesn't it feel good? That is awesome to hear, Raina. Um, I did a what do you call it? A live some months back about how my family, a family of 7, um, actually survived it, and we were one and done. And I slept beside my husband every night. Um, Coconut water, I think, was a huge factor. Like my husband drank it nonstop. Um, and just trying to get him up, not letting him lay down in it. If he started coughing too bad, getting him up to walk around, doing the whole patting of the back, making sure we get stuff to move around. Um, but we did what we could to ensure that we didn't go to. Neither of us had to go to the hospital, because in our state at that time they weren't allowing family to go into the hospital. And I think I want to say we're headed back to that direction if we're not already there. I am Vermont. Yeah, I'm so proud of him. Like, this is huge. I will be ordering something to support you. That's huge. Thank you so much. Um, and I am glad that you guys are doing well, Raina. Oh, he had to redesign it for you. So is he doing specific designs? Let me know, let me know, let me know, because you know the one behind me. Let me know. Man, I've enjoyed y'all. Bruce, I am so proud of you. Even your art. Oh my goodness. Bruce, I am so proud of you. Like, I know that was a huge step for you, and I'm so proud. And I just pray that I will make sure that I order things so that I can have them on, so that people can say, "Hey, where'd you get this from?" And I can send them your way. Um, they only had low temp aches and headache, no cold or cough developed. Praise God, and I pray that it doesn't. Nell Court says I've been bugging him for months about doing Teespring. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Um, I don't know how Teesprings works. I never considered even um doing it. He says, "Yep, my photos are personal, but it's time to step out of the ship." You gonna make me shout? You are awesome. I agree, Nelcore. He is awesome. Yes, step out, share. Let's see if we can do an what do you call it, an art exhibit at an art gallery, and that'll give Dre and I a reason to travel. Ooh, travel. But yes, I'm proud of you. Like, that's huge. That is huge. So I got to see what I want on what. Oh, it's about to go down. Dre probably did not want to know about this, but wait. As a matter of fact, you probably, what did you say? Because you said something about Dre on here. Um, Sorry, Dre. Yeah, yeah. I'm so proud of you for that. I am. Like, I know that was huge because you hold your art near and dear to your heart. But share it with the world because your art brings me pure joy. Um, and I love looking at it. Yeah, I see where you said sorry, Dre. Now I see why you said sorry, Dre. Because I'm sitting here thinking about this. There's a daisy blanket. I didn't see that. I'm going to have to go in hiding from Dre. No, you won't. You won't have to. I didn't see the daisy blanket. Oh, Vermont. Oh yes, sir. It's about to go down. It's going down in the DM. No, you will not have to go in hiding from Dre, but I'm about to order a phone case and tell you what I want on it just as soon as I know. Raina, I will keep you and your family in my prayers. I know personally what it's like to have um someone positive in your home. I just thank God that our home was one and done. Hey CeeLo. Um she said I think it needs to be on. I saw the kids' shirt. I didn't look at the back. I didn't look at the back. I'm so proud of you though, Bruce. Like, this is huge. The butterfly. This is huge for you. Man. I love it. Awesome job. Awesome job. So yeah. Wow. I tell you, I take a break and people just start coming out of their shells and um creating a website with Teespring with products in their arts. I see you, Bruce. I see you. Man, that's it right there because you have so much great stuff to share with the world. Did I read it? So the all I saw was your YouTube channel on the back of it. Was there something else? Hold on. Because there was two children's shirt. One there was a toddler and a kid's premium. Yes. This is so Desi. So I don't know if I can show it or not, but it's a beautiful butterfly with Vermont paint on there. Hold on. Okay. And then on the back, and this is my kid, y'all, but so you may or may not be able to read it. I'll read it to you. It says autism, braining? All my artwork can be seen on every wall in my house. This is true. Every wall in our house has stick people on it. That was cool. Thank you, Vermont. No, thank you, Raina. I appreciate you so much. You are a blessing and you are definitely in our prayers. Absolutely. Vermont paint. I tell you, Bruce, you have surprised me. I am so proud of you. And then, look at you showing out. And then you got different colors. Her favorite color, I think, is purple. Man. Yeah, I'll definitely be placing an order soon. Most definitely. So now y'all have me 10 minutes from 2 hours. And this all started from the conversation of what is it, parsnips. Now I'm going to have to go look for them so I can taste them. He's much better than parsnips. I'm proud. I am so proud of you. I know that took a lot for you to do, but you deserve it. Like, and if I could say anything, and this is real talk, if I could say anything to any YouTube content creator, as a new content creator, but as a person who has dealt with the business side of things for a pretty long time, YouTube can be a hobby. It can be. But for some, like myself, like Bruce, and many others, Nail, many others, going out and actually getting a job is not possible. Job is not going to let me off the type of time that I have to be off to do the things that I have to do, or for all of the emergencies that somehow always happen in my home. When I came to YouTube, it was one, on assignment, two, so that I could help bring revenue into my home. And so I knew I would always strive for monetization. I didn't expect it as soon as I did, but to God be the glory. And I knew I wanted to pour back into my home financially with the time that was given. So don't let anyone ever make you feel bad for having a super chat button or for having a join button, because this is your business. And in running your business, just make sure you live up to the expectation of those who support you, the expectation of those who join your membership. Membership privileges are great to have, definitely, because it's part of that steady income, but don't feel obligated to be a part of someone's membership either. Super chats, amazing, definitely help. Cash, oh, sorry, in my um I'm sorry, y'all. Um Team is just right here watching. Sorry, I'm trying to get better. Cash apps, PayPals, they all help. Like, you have to think about the things that, well, you don't have to think about it, but it's more than just coming on um, screen um, and bringing forth a message or sharing with you. It takes preparation. There are a lot of YouTubers that use graphics and things like that that I hadn't even gotten into yet. I have no idea how to even do it, and I don't know that I'm even ready to go to that platform yet. Eventually I want to do interviews, but each interview that I've done, even with the two authors, I blessed them, even though it was a situation where it promoted them. It still was a blessing for them to come and sit with me. And then I make it my business to try to bless other YouTubers, because I understand that we are all trying to get to a place where we can um, do our jobs, do it successfully, while also building relationships. So I said all of that to say, Bruce, I'm proud. Don't ever feel guilty about selling your artwork and putting the price that is needed for it. That's why I do my best not to ever allow you to undersell anything to me. I try to pay full price because I understand that not only did that take your time and time away from your family, but you put your heart into it. Okay, Philly girl, and know that I'll be mailing your stuff out today or tomorrow, your book out today or tomorrow, and I'm gonna add some more books to it for you. Um, and so yeah, and so I'm just putting that part out there because I've seen where sometimes people make content creators feel bad because they have memberships or because they get cash apps or because they get super chats or PayPal's or Zelle. Um, and for some, this is their way of living. Some people can go out and get a job, and then there's some of us that just cannot. Um, and so for me, I will do my best to remain professional. Um, I already know, and I'm so excited about it. Um, I always try to remain professional and give my best so that AdSense will send some ads my way so that I can get paid for my videos. The one thing I do have to get better about is I don't turn my monetization on immediately. Like, I don't think it's on this video. I end up having to go back in and turn it on. So I don't know how that works. But it's a process. And so it's a process that we have to learn. If anybody says that YouTube is a hobby, then they have another job and it really is a hobby to them. But for me, there is no hobby about this. I'm constantly trying to learn how to grow, how to make it better, how to make it larger, and without bringing in drama, without bringing in fighting, the stuff that sells and get you to the top real quick. I don't want to do that. That's not the energy that I want to put out. Oh, thank you for the super sticker. That's not the energy that I want to put out. I want to put out positive energy, encouragement. I want to uplift. I want to empower. I want to raise awareness to everything that I can raise awareness to without what's the word? Without making people feel as if they're being condemned or fussed at, because sometimes you just don't know. And when you know, hey Chopper, thank you for coming in, Empress. When you know better, you do better. Vermont, is there a link to your Teesprings? If so, will you put it in the chat for me? Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you again, Miss Sheila, for the super chat. I appreciate y'all. I do. I do. I really, really do. I know there is a link. Empress, formerly known as Chopper's Lyric. I love it. Thank you again, Vermont. I'll make any phone case you want, Aisha. Oh, I'm excited about that. I'm getting a phone case. We'll let you know as soon as I got them, for sure. And I'll also let you know when I send them out. Um, cool. Guys, I'm proud of Vermont for creating him a Teespring. Please go over, check out his items. He made it very clear that he can do any art, even the art that's behind me, because he's responsible for all these amazing pieces that I love so dearly. And so yeah. Um I'm excited. I have to figure out what I want. I think I may get that one. Um, I love this one most of all, but I don't know if I can see it every day. And then go to his page, and I'll drop that link because I don't want YouTube acting um, funny about you dropping your own link, because they will. Vermont. Man, if you're not connected with him, please get connected with him. I know I've been working, trying to help Vermont get to his goal. Um, he's so close. Right. Yeah. I don't I don't drop my link anywhere either, even when they say drop your link, because somehow YouTube doesn't appreciate that. So yeah. But I have put Vermont's link in the chat. Go look at some of his photos, y'all. Like, this is what's behind me. That's all Vermont paint and photos. And I have so many more. And then check out his Teesprings, because he states also he can put anything that you want on any of those items. Trying to make sure, because I dropped the link. Hopefully. I dropped it, but it didn't. Okay, there it goes. Okay. No thanks needed, Vermont. It is my pleasure. I actually see it on YouTube side, but I don't see it on um StreamYard side. Do you guys see the link in the chat? I don't see it. Let me try from here. Hey, Dennis. How are you? Okay. Hopefully that. Okay, there we go. I don't know what's going on. Thank you for coming in. If you don't change, you become extinct. I can agree. All right, guys, I've been on 2 hours. I'm glad to know that you're doing good. If oh God. He sent me another IG. I see the pictures. It hasn't come through yet. I don't know what's going on with my internet, y'all. Okay, he says, I sent IG, I'm in trouble. Be well. Much peace, Aisha. I shall. Much peace, love to you as well. Guys, it's been 2 hours. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend it with me. Remember that people do disappoint, but um, sometimes we're the ones that disappoint. And so we have to learn how to extend grace and understand that disappointment is an inner thing, not an outer thing. And how we deal with it is what makes us strong. It actually separates the weak from, oh, that is beautiful. Shoot, trying to see if you can. This man is amazing. Yeah, you're amazing. So yeah. With that being said, I am about to sign off. I'm sending lots of love, joy, peace, blessings your way. And remember, you are responsible for your happiness. No one else can do that for you but you. So until next time, I love you guys. Be the best that you can be the change that you want to see, and don't let anybody ruffle your feathers. Stay chill. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.